All right, everybody. Welcome back to Beacon House. Thank you for being here with us. I'm really, really excited about today's episode, but also, you know, we're here for a good time, but not for a great reason. We've lost a hero, and that person happens to be one of the founding members of, in my opinion, the greatest American rock band, Kiss. We'll see what happens, but if you guys saw our episode about Ozzy, you will remember the two gentlemen that I've got here with me. First, Brandon from Burn the City. Say hey to everybody.
What's up?
And then Lucas Trombley is back, extraordinaire, metal and chef extraordinaire.
How's it going?
Yeah, man. Like, how are you guys doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, man. When I got the news about Ace, I was just like, it was just a lot to process. Ace Frehley is not a guy that I talk about a lot. Like, maybe you, maybe sometimes like Brandon and I maybe talk about Kiss at rehearsal a lot because we're down here playing music, and so much of, I feel like what we do, for me at least, foundationally, Kiss is such a big part of like everything I play on the guitar. Every time we're trying to write a song or whatever, whether it's obvious or not, it's just in there. But we'll get into a little bit of that today. But I don't just go around just going on about like Kiss and Ace Frehley all the time. But you know, he passed away recently. And so I just knew when we got the news, I was like, man, I can't make like a Facebook post or something about this. This has got to be, we got to make like a podcast about this and just talk about, and you guys have brought so much cool stuff. Like let's start off. Tell us about some of this cool stuff you brought.
Well,
here.
you know, I've got some Kiss trading cards. I believe they belonged to my dad at some point. I may have stolen them when I was younger, perhaps. And I've got some magazines. This is a cream Kiss edition. From
Hold that up.
fall.
Hold it up, kind of like facing this camera here a little bit.
Fall of 1977.
1977.
It's in not mint condition, but still pretty cool.
That's so badass. Damn, dude. And then what about those cards like right behind you there?
Yeah. These are just some of the Kiss trading cards. I don't really know much about them.
Yeah, nobody does that anymore.
Nobody does that anymore, man. I don't know if it's just they don't care, but that particularly was like a huge memory for me. Like
Sure.
the Kiss trading. Anything, when I was a kid, anything that had Kiss on it was just like, I was screaming, bugging, like clawing at the pants.
They were kings of marketing.
Yeah,
Kings.
that was part of their thing, man. Like
when I would go to the store with my mom.
with that.
Yep. My dad has a bunch of the vinyl Kiss records, and I believe the Love Gun came with this toy that was like a cardboard gun that would fold out, and you could fold out, and it would have it would say "bang" on it. I used to have it. I don't know what happened to it.
Dude,
I used to have that up on my wall when I was in high school.
That is
my
so
copy
bad.
doesn't have that.
That is so bad.
Yeah.
I had a little plastic like Kiss guitar, and it had it was just like a plastic white fake guitar, but it actually had strings. They were like plastic and stuff, but you could kind of tune it. I had no idea what to do with it, of course, but like it had like a sticker of the four of them on the front of it, and then even the sticker had like holes had formed in it or whatever. But I swear to God, like later on, I think they got me that when I was like real little, but later on when like a lot of like heavy metal bands started coming out and being on the radio, like Metallica and Ozzy, like mid 80s kind of stuff. Like I was still pretty young, but I remember I wanted so badly to play guitar along with those records, and I didn't have a guitar. I didn't know how to play guitar. I hadn't taken lessons or anything like that. And I would just stand there with that fucking plastic guitar and just rock. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to play it. But
That's what you were supposed to do with it.
That exactly. But I can't tell you.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Man, I can't tell you how many times I did that. And even there was a point where like I started to get old enough to where I was embarrassed if somebody caught me, but I didn't give a fuck. In my mind, I was training. I was in preparation for who I was going to become. But also I didn't want anybody to see.
Yeah.
So this is a true story. There's actually one time where I knew my parents were coming home, but there was something like Whitesnake or something was on MTV, and I just had to rock out with that, pretending like I was playing and like trying to do what they did in the video. And like, I swear to God, I found some like twine, and I strung it from my bedroom door all the way through the house to the front door and tied it around the knob in such a way that when my parents opened the door,
knew they were there.
it would pull my door, and I would know they were home. I could put the guitar away real fast.
Brilliant.
Well, it didn't work, and literally it had too much slack in it or something. And I'm in my room like an idiot, like tongue wag, like flailing around with this plastic guitar like a maniac. And like my dad was coming down the hall with the twine. Like, what is there a bomb or like what? And he just like gradually opened the door, and I had to pretend like, oh yeah, you know, it's like no big deal, Dad, or whatever. I was so fucking embarrassed. That's a true story.
That's fantastic.
Well, don't feel too
guitar.
bad. I used to do the same kind of shit, but I always wanted to be a singer, so I didn't have the fake guitar, but I would run around thinking I was Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah,
You know, that kind of shit.
love it. I love the fact that like, thank God, and maybe I don't know if it's like this today or not, but thank God, when we were little, like our heroes were rock stars.
Yeah,
They were, yes.
You know what I mean?
100%,
Like,
yeah.
you know, I would have been more impressed if fucking Ace Frehley walked into my bedroom and saw my posters than if like actual Superman walked in there. You know what I mean? Like if Batman would have walked into my bedroom and been like, "Hey kid," I would have been like, "Hey dude, do you know if any of the guys from Kiss are going to show up?"
Do you know Ace Frehley?
Yeah.
I bet he does. I've always said that Kiss was probably the biggest influence on me, at least when I was younger, as a musician, 100%. Their songs, I think some of the appeal to them was their songs weren't super complicated, although parts of them are, but they're very basic for the most part. So I feel like people could learn them quite easily and rock out to them.
The critics were rough on Kiss at the time. They were not widely accepted by music snobs and people like that. They, in fact, a lot of them times they were considered hacks.
Yeah, very gimmicky.
Gimmicky.
Because of that basicness of the music, they just kind of said.
Yeah.
I think they got a lot of, like, bad rap of people that didn't get it.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And man, I'm here to tell you, like, not that now, you know, 40 years later, whatever, Kiss obviously doesn't need anybody to defend them.
Sure.
They've sold more gold albums than any other American band. I mean, on record, like Ace Frehley has inspired more people to pick up the guitar than like Eddie Van Halen and Jimi Hendrix put together.
100%, yeah.
And that's no disrespect, not throwing
Sure.
shade at those, but I mean, he made a bigger splash to just like the average American kid that was just could not, you know, like I have more stories of my current heroes, guys like Steve Vai,
John 5.
John 5. I mean, you name Butch Walker, like that their origin story is, oh well, I saw Kiss on TV, like it's just crazy, and the fact that it was basic, I think, helped make it more accessible to people. Like for instance, when Van Halen came out, and again, this is not shade on, I love Eddie Van Halen. I was wrecked when he died, but when Van Halen came out on the radio, like, and they heard Eruption, I think a lot of people just went, what the hell ever? That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was so completely
it was so
out
far
there that it wasn't accessible.
Yeah, but when you heard a song like Strutter on the radio, and you're like, and again, I wasn't driving a 79 Camino or whatever. Like I was barely out of the zygote phase when Kiss was big in the 70s. But like, I can only imagine now that when you heard stuff like that, you thought like, hell yeah! Like I could go to Sears or wherever and get a guitar and a little amp or whatever, and I could probably get there in a week or two. Like I could maybe play fucking Strutter, or I could play like She or Cold Gin or whatever. Like I could maybe get there. Like I can get my head around that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
You know what I mean? Like
It's just good old fashioned rock and roll.
yeah, dude. And what's funny, man, is some of these same. I'm gonna catch some shit. I'm gonna talk a little shit. I've always kind of been just one street over from a lot of these like really snobby like music guys and like the guys that are in the jazz department at the university. And you know, I hung out with a lot of those guys.
I know those guys, yeah.
But they just have this air that if something doesn't fit into a certain, mold, that it doesn't have any legitimacy to it. I just don't buy that
I don't
shit.
either, no.
Kiss, which by the way, Kiss wasn't that simple. Kiss had a lot of like seventh chords and like complex harmony, and like it was really smart. Like it sounds very well thought out, and it sounds deliberate. And to me, that stuff is impressive. Like seems like
Structured,
structured. They left things out on purpose.
Yep.
Which I think that's rad. That's good songwriting. The Cars are the same way. You know what I mean? Like the cars are deliberately simple, but everything they did was just slam dunk.
Yeah.
But man, like I don't know, man. Like the blues has always been like that. It's about getting a real cool message across with very little fuss, but nobody goes in on them about the simplicity of their music.
Right,
Kiss
right.
just positioned itself to be like an easy target.
Sure.
And of course the costumes and the makeup.
Well, yeah,
and
that didn't help there.
That didn't help, yeah.
Not that they cared, because they
Right.
didn't care, but
Yeah.
they wasn't helping their cause there.
100%.
I would have loved to seen them in 75.
Oh,
though.
My God.
Just
Like that. What is that one clip that everybody, the Midnight Special TV show?
So my dad has a funny story about this. He said that he was at home watching TV, and it would have been about 75, and I
Right.
think he would have been in high school at this time. And he said a friend of his called and said, "Hey, you need to turn it over to channel whatever. There's this crazy band you need to see." And so he flipped it over there, and I think they were playing either Firehouse or Nothing to Lose. I can't remember, but he said he was like sold 1,000% when he saw it. And he said that his dad was there with him, my grandfather, and he said he was tapping his toe, my grandfather was, and looked over at my dad and said, "Well, they look pretty crazy, but the music's pretty good." So, I was like, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Man, and
So yeah, it was the midnight. I don't know what the program was, but I know what you're talking about.
they had a few TV appearances that were like real, like touch and go. You know, like that Halloween one, and you know.
Oh yeah, there was one. Didn't they put too much explosive in something and blow something up?
Probably.
I can't. I may have heard.
I think there's a story with Gene's hair catching on fire or something. Like that.
Could have been.
Am I wrong?
I mean,
No,
there's
you're not wrong. I think it's happened a few times. Actually.
I'm sure. it is.
There's nothing more Kiss
Yeah.
than that. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Man.
but nobody was doing that kind of stuff when they started it. No, I mean they were known for big production,
Yeah.
delivering to the audience.
even in like CBGBs,
Yeah, small clubs.
Small clubs.
Setting off pyro.
crazy. Yeah, dude. Like I remember, and man, I don't know what it would have been like to already be like a teenager with like opinions about music, and like then have Kiss come along. I
Yeah.
probably would have been like gimmicky. You know what I mean? If I already had discovered,
Well, it
like,
depends what age you were at.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like say they hit the scene when you're like 12 or 13. Like that's right there. That's the sweet spot.
yeah.
And you probably would have been like, "Holy shit, who is
Yeah.
this?"
And man, in my case, there was a teenager that lived like across the street from us, and my family was friends with his family, so we would have a lot of like cookouts and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like he was way older than me. We weren't actually friends. I mean, we kind of were, but like not really. Like he would come over to my birthday party just because he was a kid from the neighborhood.
Right.
But that guy got to the age where Kiss wasn't cool anymore. Probably early 80s. It was probably after like Dynasty, you know, and he just unloaded all his Kiss records on me because I had a record player.
Oh, beautiful.
And I was like, sweet.
Hell
and
yeah.
and I think initially I just thought they were cool because he was cool because he was
Yeah.
a teenager. And so, dude, I would just sit as a kid and just spin those original Kiss records while I played with my Transformers or G.I. Joes or whatever. And like to the point where there are certain, this is true, man. There are certain Transformers. If I see it, it sounds like a Kiss song.
That's fair.
Like the song 100,000 Years.
Yeah.
Dun-dun. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. That sounds like a specific, I don't remember what the name was, like a specific Transformer, because I've played with it so many fucking times while that,
I've got that with like certain Ninja Turtles and ACDC.
I love it.
So I totally get what you're saying.
Love it. I love having a musical memory attached to like a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I
I was a He-Man guy myself. so.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Which I still have a lot of those locked away with the
And man,
Kiss
for
cards.
me, it was the album double platinum, just because it happened to be shuffled in this big stack of albums. And I understand that the original Kiss album, self-titled, the first couple of Kiss albums were the most critical, but later on they put out double platinum, and that was the one that I just had on repeat because it had kind of songs from every era. It had Detroit Rock City, and it had King of the Nighttime World,
Yep.
which I didn't understand what that sound was, but now that we're in a band, I know that it's the hi-hat, that big washy hi-hat.
Yep.
And I just loved it. And man, I don't know, but that was my indoctrination into Kiss and into rock and roll as like a tiny little kid listening to God of Thunder.
Well, thank God you didn't outgrow it. Neither did I.
No, but
They
I
kind
will.
of stuck with me for a while.
They did stick with me, but I will tell a shameful story. And I've got notes here too. Like there was a point in time where like I was like I don't know who I was hanging out with or what we were listening to, but they were very like anti-glam rock, anti-Kiss and stuff. And I was like, yeah, Kiss is dumb. Like I used to listen to this kid, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't really mean it. You know what I mean? Like, but they, and I don't think that they even knew that much about the Kiss's music. I think they had a problem with their image.
Sure.
And they were like real grungy or fucking whatever. But later on, I remember reading an article with Ace Frehley where he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, don't ever lose touch with or forget the music that was important to you when you were young, because that will last with you your whole life.
That's
dude,
good.
that hit so deep, especially coming from him. And from that moment forth, I was just a proud Kiss fan in the face of whatever. If you don't like Kiss, great, whatever. But like nobody can tell me that they suck.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me they don't fucking
I've
rock.
always said I like what I like, and I don't apologize for what I like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through a phase like that where it's like you start abandoning, certain artists or bands that you're like, people make fun of you for, and then shit, like, it didn't last long, because at one point I was like, fuck you. I like
I don't
this.
give a fuck.
I get it. It's goofy, or it may suck, but I like it.
Yeah.
So who fucking cares? Like,
Exactly.
you should never have. I did away with guilty pleasures a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because nothing that gives you pleasure should make you feel guilty.
I agree.
Like, who are you hurting? Oh, so even if it is a band that sucks, who cares?
It's
If you like it, you
subjective.
like it.
All music is subjective.
It's true. It's true. And I think we maybe, where do we have that desire to like relate? Like you need, if you really love something, you need your buddy to like understand why you like it, or to like also like it too for the same reason you like it. And it just doesn't always fall that way, you know?
Yeah.
But man, I'll tell you, like, some of my memories of like Kiss, one of my favorite local guitar players, Mick Murphy, who had been in the band Hypertribe, maybe to this day, still the most devastating band I've ever seen live. All guys from Knoxville. One of them is Nick Rescue Linux, who just produced the new Big Wreck album, the new Foo Fighters album, or the Deftones record. He's done he did Alice in Chains, he did Rush, but he's a guy from Knoxville. He was in the band with Mick, and I used to go see these guys all the time, and like they set the bar really high. But I remember hanging out at like this pizza restaurant where Mick worked, and of course it was really slow, and he had his Gibson RD Artist in the back, and I was like, dude, what is that? And he was showing it to me, and he goes, yeah, check it out. And he showed me how to play Rocket Ride. And he was a big Ace Frehley fan. And this guy, and that was another big kind of like a kind of eye-opening moment for me, was like really advanced musicians were Kiss fans.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that whole gatekeeping of the musical cork sniffing or whatever that happened back in the 70s totally evaporated with this new wave of shredders and like virtuosos that came from the Kiss army.
Yeah.
Everybody from Garth Brooks to Lenny Kravitz, Stevie Wonder. I mean, fucking everybody was inspired by Kiss. And so now guys who I guess I considered like my peers, or, I was hanging around with them, learning to do these impossible things on the guitar and trying to keep up with guys like Mick. And he was super into Kiss, and he just wanted to play Kiss riffs. And it kind of circles back, it brought me kind of back to like the fundamental importance of Kiss.
Yep. They were my Beatles, I guess.
Same. I've said that too. I've said that to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I came along, I got a couple of years on you guys, not too many, but I didn't come along till Alive 3, because I got the cassette on Columbia House
Which
Records.
is a good record. I like that.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's probably one of those like monthly albums that you get
Oh,
in
yeah.
Columbia House
Columbia
that you don't
House,
send
yeah.
in the card, and all of a sudden you get. And I was like, well, I got a Kiss
24 for a
album
penny, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's quickly made its way into my rotation of albums that I listen to all the time.
So Kiss
Which is-
Alive 3.
Which
Yeah.
is the first time I saw them in concert. Please
Yeah,
continue.
which is we said that we talked about that before before we started. That's why it was in my brain. So I had that on cassette, and it became part of the rotation. My dad was pretty strict. He used to do a lot of yard work. Yeah. And I had a handful of albums that like got me through all that. To this day, when I'm having like a real can't find any energy kind of day, I'll pull up one of those albums, just play it on repeat, or not repeat, but like the full album, at work, and it'll like somehow pull something out of me to like get the work done.
I love
and
it when
Alive
music
3 is
does
definitely
that.
one of them. And it had God
Gave Rock and Roll
God Gave
Part
Rock and
2.
Roll too.
Which was also on the Bill and Ted.
Exactly. So that's also right around that same time where I was obsessed with Bill and Ted. And then
And who was it? Who?
Yeah.
How could you not?
So I
be?
knew that before I knew that it was Kiss, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Kiss song."
Actually, that's an Argent song.
Is it?
Their Kiss is a cover of that song.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm dead serious.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, God Gave Rock and Roll to You
Is a cover?
is a cover.
Mind blown.
Argent.
I was today years old when I found that out.
Pause.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, that's a cover.
Holy shit! Really?
Sorry to ruin it for you. But
That's okay.
yeah,
Fine.
it is.
I thought it was a Wild Stallions song for like the longest time.
Yes.
Man, dude.
Their version, Kiss's version of it, is far superior
Okay.
in my opinion than the original. But
I'm sure it had all the production and stuff
yes,
behind it.
yes,
Wow.
much better, much better.
Wild.
I remember watching Ace play guitar for the longest time. I wanted a Les Paul, and Les Paul is a man's guitar. I mean, they're just set up weird. They're kind of a little bit awkward. I mean,
They're heavy. Are they heavy?
They're usually the ones Ace was playing. Like a Les Paul from the 70s is heavier than Black Hole Matter. I mean, it literally, like, you open the case and it comes with a chiropractor certificate. You know, like, they're so heavy.
Which is funny because I feel like Ace is a small guy in the 70s.
Diminutive, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
I've got
Man,
his Wikipedia pulled up. We'll see how tall he is.
I can guarantee you the instruments Kiss was playing in the 70s were extremely heavy. So if you see an old video of them and they're jumping around and they're moonwalking and doing splits and
In the friggin' stacked shoes they were wearing.
bro, like, it was an athletic feat to pull that show off. I guarantee. Just insane. But man, it took me years and years. I grew up playing like Ibanez style, like Strat style guitars, which are a lot easier to play. And I remember anytime we would be like in a studio recording something, you know, and I'd come in there with like a Carvin guitar that had all this like flashy shit on it. And the producer would just go, put that away and just hand me a Les Paul.
Put that back in the case.
And I was like, whoa. And it's just the sound. They
Yeah.
just sound so good. And I remember eventually learning from playing other people's really nice Les Pauls that sound on those early Kiss records, like Alive, the original Alive album, you know, where he does that guitar solo, and it's just insanity. He does a good solo on Alive too, also. I mean, all of them, but like that magical thing, like the way the guitar sounded, most of that has to do with being a Les Paul.
A Les Paul through a Marshall stack.
I mean,
It's hard to beat that.
it's hard to beat. That is the fundamental sound of rock. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't always have to be like, you can get great sounds without that, but
Sure.
it sure doesn't hurt.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm here to tell you, man, if you see a guy, you see a guy tearing up a guitar, it's inspiring. But when you see a guy tearing up a Les Paul, it's a whole other level.
Right.
They're not easy to shred on. You see guys that are shredding on them, like I mean, insert name. Zach Wilde comes to
Slash
mind.
play one.
Slash plays the Les Paul. Zach Wilde's famous Les Paul. And you know what's funny? Like, my friend Tony Higbee pointed out that as popular as Les Paul is, Jimmy Page used one. You know, Ace Frehley, and again, Tony's in the business. He runs like the Platinum Room at Guitar Center in Nashville. He tours as Tom Kiefer's touring guitar player. You know, like he's in Brother Kane. But he made the point. He goes, man, I'm here to tell you, Ace Frehley has sold more guitars for Gibson than all those other guys put together,
I don't
including
doubt
Slash and Jimmy Page and all of them. He goes, just more people wanted to be him because it was like a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
but I love that Tony posted about that, and I was like, you know, he's right, man. Like, there's something about Ace that just made you want to pick up the fucking guitar.
Do you have a favorite solo that he did? I know that's a tough question.
Probably Black Diamond.
Black Diamond.
Probably that outro solo in Black Diamond, where it's just my God, it's lightning in a bottle, man.
Well, I heard it described. His solos were like songs within songs, and I hadn't really thought about it until I heard that term recently on another radio show, Eddie Trunk's radio show, and I hadn't really thought about it, and I was like, you know what, they're right. His solos are much like the dude from the Cars. What's his name? The guitar player.
Elliot Easton.
Yes.
Very good analogy.
That you can sing along. You can hum the solos. You can sing the solos. You know, as like a whole separate melody from the rest of the song. And there's not a lot of bands that do that.
Yeah.
The solos aren't designed that way. Aren't that good. That's just how good his solos really are.
Yeah.
And memorable. How memorable they are that you can sing along with them.
Yeah. You commit them to memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
I totally agree. And Elliot Easton is another guy who did that unequivocally.
Yep.
And man, I'm not, again, no, you can't even do that with all the Van Halen solos.
Not
You
really.
can't do that you can do that with a lot of Slash solos, but not all of them. But to have a solo that's just like a song you would sing, la da 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 da, da, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's
that requires a
good
lot
melody,
of melody, composition. It requires a lot of the player to create something. And Ace just did it every single time.
Yep.
Like every one of them was just awesome.
Yeah, I think the fact that he was so loose and probably, I'm sure he gave it some thought, but he probably just let it flow, let it flow through him and just did what he thought was right. And it was always right.
Eventually, there was one day where I think I was going to Best Buy or something. I just happened to pop into Guitar Center, and they had this weird looking like faded mint green, kind of like washed out looking like Les Paul. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that looks cool as hell. I've never seen one like that. And I picked it up. Most of the time I pick up a Les Paul, I just feel like a clumsy idiot, and I put it back down, and I go back to the kids' corner, In this particular one I picked up, I was like, oh, it felt perfect. And this was like, 20 years into playing guitar, and I just knew I had to have it. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is it. Finally found the one for me. And I went, our friend John Springer from Guitar Center, and he helped me like put it in a layaway. I didn't have any money to buy it, but I made payments on it. I saved up, and that's now the guitar that I record every single one of our tracks with, on all the Bird City albums, on anything I do at home. Like that guitar is because it's the best sounding guitar I have.
What year is it?
It's like probably like a 2000.
I'm not a guitar guy.
It's not an old one. It's like a 2000.
I'm a drummer. I'm not really a musician.
I mean, it's a recent. It's like a.
You're at least a musician. I'm a cook.
I don't know, man.
You might be more of a musician than me.
Right. I ate one of your meals the other night, and it was definitely a symphony. Whew, my God. It's like a 2010. It's not. Okay. It's not super old or anything like that. It's a more recent.
Is that the only one you got?
It's only Les Paul I've got. Yeah, but it's the guitar I track everything with.
If you could have any Les Paul, what would you get?
I saw it recently, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was this year, and it was Gibson Custom Shop posted a picture of it, and it was like a crazy whitewashed antique looking one, and it just looked like totally faded out, like everything on it was whited out, very little color, and it was just like, but it kind of had some like distressing in it.
Yeah.
It looked so cool. It looked like a Les Paul that had been through like a nuclear blast or something. And just totally bleached out. Probably that one. Or the one Buckethead plays. Buckethead has a huge white Les Paul.
Yeah, I've seen
it's
that.
Oversized because he's like 80 feet tall, and it like something like that.
It's oversized? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an oversized Les
Paul. It's a cool looking guitar.
It's a cool looking guitar, and they're really expensive too. They don't make a lot. I think it's like $7,000 for one of them.
Jeez. One of his?
Yeah.
Or just
the Buckethead Les Paul.
Oh my God.
It's nuts.
I thought cymbals
like
were expensive.
I know. So yeah, but again, Ace. Any time I pick up the Les Paul, I'm thinking Ace Frehley. I'm thinking original Kiss albums. I'm thinking the guitar sounds on those early recordings. However you got there. That's also kind of the reason that I'm such a crazy fanatic about guitar sounds and guitar tone, and I make cables and do all that. Just try to zero in on that. Absolutely, and they had it. They had it to spare.
Oh yeah,
in the 70s on those early Kiss records, the guitar sounded so cool. I mean, I can't even, if you listen to the guitar in like Black Diamond, like the solo.
One of the things too that I loved was Paul Stanley's harmonies on.
Oh, Paul Stanley's a great guitar player.
Great guitar player. I mean, I'm not saying anything against Ace or anything, but it complemented what Ace was playing.
I've actually got that on my notes here. You were talking about Kiss guitar harmonies.
Yeah. One of
my best memories is me and my dad a long time ago took a bus to Boston, and we were on this like Greyhound bus or something like that. She sent us like a couple of bus tickets or whatever. And like, we didn't have any money to fly or any of that shit,
sure.
Like we were on this bus and like going north. And I remember we were going through like Washington, D.C. in the middle of the night. And it was the first time I'd ever seen things like the Washington Monument, and it was all lit up.
Yeah.
And everybody else on the bus was asleep. And I was looking out the window at all this crazy stuff I'd only seen in movies. And I had my headphones on, and I was listening to like Detroit Rock City and that harmony solo in Detroit Rock City. I'll never forget being on this bus going through DC, listening to Detroit Rock City, like looking at these crazy monuments and stuff. I was just like, it was amazing.
It's awesome.
Amazing. But yeah, like the solo in Love Gun, the solo in Detroit Rock City, get out. Like you
Nothing
can't
better,
cast shade on those, man. They're so good.
So good.
They're iconic. Those are iconic solos.
Iconic. And again, you can sing them.
Yeah.
You know immediately. Like if you've heard them, you know exactly what they sound like.
Yep.
They don't sound like they're trying too hard. They sound like they have a purpose. They do their thing. Complements the song.
It's the perfect thing to play right
The perfect thing.
at the perfect moment. Yep.
And that's honestly, like at the end of the day, that's about as good as a guitar player can do, is to just do the right thing, serve the song, do the right thing.
And that's, I hear that's complicated. I mean, I know it is from my perspective, but it's hard to sometimes lay back a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to play something really complex.
Knowing what the song needs without going further for no reason.
Exactly.
No filler.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
There's a cool book called Zen Guitar, and it's by this guy, I think his name's Philip Toshio Sudo. Somebody will have to Google that. But I remember reading it when I was like in my early 20s or whatever. And this guy is he was a guitar teacher, but he was also like a Zen philosophy genius. And so he was applying all of his like Buddhist, like Zen teachings to like lessons about the guitar. And he talks about like when you start out, just like in karate or something, taekwondo, whatever, you have a white belt.
Yeah.
And the whole idea with like changing colors of belts, that's supposed to represent your journey. Like as you train and as you rehearse, your belt gets black from wear.
Right.
And so the black belt is the person that's put in all the hours and the work, and they become a master finally. But there's a whole other full circle where you keep going and you keep going. And then you start to learn the really hard to understand, like when to lay back, when not to do the thing, what's appropriate, when maybe you don't even need to play a solo in this song.
Right.
Like how to really stay in your lane and help craft something that's magnificent. And that's the last half of the journey where you go from like an expert to like the absolute Zen master, and your belt turns white again. All the color fades out of it. So black belt is only halfway there.
Dang.
And he makes all those now. But that's what I think when I hear any guitar player that plays with economy and doesn't just try to do all this crazy stuff that just doesn't land. Some guys can do crazy stuff and it lands. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
And I listen to probably all those guys.
Yeah, same.
I love those guys. But man, like a guy like Ace, you can just bet it's going to rock. When you see any of those videos of him getting ready to, it's just crazy, man.
And not to exclude his solo work,
Oh shit!
I'm not super familiar with all his solo albums. Just a handful, probably the popular ones that everyone knows.
Frehley's Comet and all that.
Yeah. But
and his '78 solo album, which was just like,
which I think was the best selling one of all the guys.
yeah. His backup band on his 1970, the album that had like New York Groove and Rip It Out, and just it had so much good stuff on it, including the song Fractured Mirror that was later covered by Dimebag and Vinny from Pantera while they were still alive, and they did a
massive Kiss fans.
Amazing cover of it.
I think Dimebag was buried in a Kiss casket.
Yeah.
Buried in a Kiss casket
with
one of Eddie's guitars.
Yeah, an original for an original.
Come on.
That's what Eddie said.
Dude, if you get buried in a Kiss casket with one of Eddie Van Halen's guitars, you have arrived.
You have made it.
You've made it. Like your legacy is complete. Forget
100%.
it. Nobody can shit on that.
We should do a throwback podcast for just
Oh my God. Dude, they covered Fractured Mirror, which was like Ace's instrumental song at the end.
I don't know that one.
Dude, it's so good.
I'll have to check it out.
It's so good. And it's real pretty.
And it's on the 78 record?
It's the very last song. It's called Fractured Mirror. And then on some of his later solo albums, he would have like Fractured 2, Fractured 3. But there was an Ace Frehley tribute album called Spacewalk. You can listen to it on Spotify. A bunch of guys. Marty Friedman did Deuce right at the top of the album.
Oh, yeah.
But the very last one is Dime and Vinny doing Fractured Mirror. And Dime at the end of it kind of lights into it a little bit. He goes a little off the path, and it's one of the most beautiful performances I've ever heard.
I mean, there is no Dime without Ace.
I know.
He's got a huge Ace tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
Or did.
Yeah.
But
it's great. And I remember sending that to my friend, shout out Tim in Australia, Tim Mason. I remember I think I sent him that clip. I go, man, he's a big Kiss fan too. And I was like, man, I don't know if you ever heard this. And it was crazy because it was right when Ace died. And it's like Dime, Vinny, covering Ace, and now all three of them are dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so crazy that all three of these guys are gone.
You mentioned Eddie Trunk earlier.
Yes.
I'm 1 degree removed because I got interviewed by Eddie on one of his on one of his shows.
Really?
Yeah.
You got interviewed on Eddie Trunk?
Yeah.
What?
He did a show called Trunk Fest.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He did a Louder Than Life episode where I was doing concessions at one of the booths, And
Why have we never talked about this?
my interview is sandwiched between Rob Zombie and John Five.
That is what? That's awesome.
What?
Yeah, I'm a big Eddie Trunk
I
fan.
can't believe you're even in the room with us. Like, fucking celebrity over here.
Indeed.
Because Trunk signed Frehley.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Signed him to his solo career.
Holy shit.
That's right.
It was his first signing when
It
whatever
was.
company what that was.
I had no
Metal
idea.
Blade, I think.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I have XM radio specifically just so I can listen to his
Yeah, dude, he's
radio
awesome.
show. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We were working, and then someone was like, "Hey, somebody wants to like come and interview you for this show for like he's doing a show on festivals." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I don't care." We were doing like a bunch of like outdoor, open fire cooking and stuff for concessions, and
That's insane.
when he started getting interviewed, I was like, as soon as he opened his mouth, like I was like, "This guy looks familiar," because you're used to his voice, not his face. And
Right.
I was like, "But he looks familiar."
Yeah.
And then as soon as he started talking, I go, "Are you Eddie Trunk?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Holy shit!"
God dang.
God dang.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You can find it on Apple TV.
Freaking celebrity over
I'm
here.
looking that up when I get home.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, they were huge friends
yeah,
for
yeah.
you know.
It's hard for me to express like what a huge deal Kiss and Ace Frehley are to me foundationally.
Sure.
You know,
Same.
like they're just, I don't know. They laid the groundwork for everything I liked.
You know, someone else said this. They have been around our whole life, our whole lifetime.
Yeah.
And all we have known as far as Kiss, those guys, that's it, you know? And he was the first one to go, which is crazy because I think Peter Criss is the oldest one of them.
Is he really?
He is.
He had like a bunch of health problems too, didn't he?
Which one?
Peter Criss.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's doing okay now, though.
Maybe. I know he issued a few statements like after Ace died.
Yeah.
He seemed okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we said earlier before we started. It was like we're gonna start doing a lot of these podcasts because all of our heroes are getting up there.
It's
Man.
been a
They
rough.
really are, yeah.
It's been a rough year for rock. First Ozzy, and then like this, and and I'm sure a lot of other very important people, like the guy from Limp Bizkit, passed away.
That was wild.
I'm not trying to glaze over any. They're all tragic. But yeah, first member of Kiss to go. That was weird for me. I don't even know if I don't think I've processed it yet.
I didn't even consider it as a thing. They were just always there, you know.
Yeah.
When it happened, I just like a punch in the gut, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, those they seemed invincible to me.
That's how. Even though it's been months, I still feel that way with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's gone.
100%.
Doesn't make any sense
100%.
because he's just always there.
Yep.
My entire life.
Same. Yep. That was really the first one that really got me. I mean, obviously it's sad when anyone passes away, but
Of course.
someone of that magnitude, or
Yeah.
at least had that profound effect on me from a young age.
I think for me, Dime and then Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Prepared me for Ozzy.
And I mean, man, if
Kind
you,
of dark to say it that way,
Sure.
but
No, man.
I think if you zoom out and you think about like Kiss and Sabbath, like that cast a pretty wide net as far as
Yeah.
like the foundations of like metal and hard rock.
yeah,
like
groundbreaking.
groundbreaking.
things.
It's hard to find somebody that doesn't at least love one of those bands.
I mean, there's a triple circle Venn diagram that is Kiss, Sabbath, and Priest.
Hell yeah.
Period.
It's crazy. And you know, Butch Walker made a post like, and he's famously told this story about like going to see Kiss in Georgia as a kid and just literally knowing that moment, like my whole life's going to change. And he tells a crazy story, like everybody's dressed up like Kiss, and his dad had to like choke a guy out that spilled beer on his jacket, and his whole family had to go because he was too young, and just like, but like Kiss inspired so many people. So it's just crazy. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The pull of all that is just, it's mind boggling, you know?
It really is. Yeah.
And he mentioned that too. He goes, man, it sucks getting older because now you're having to see so many of your heroes. And, you know, I thought about that too. I thought about, you know, what is the world that we're moving forward into is a world without Ozzy and Eddie Van Halen and Ace Frehley and even like Prince and Chris Cornell. Like these people aren't in the world anymore. Like what kind of a world does this leave for like the young people? Like where does rock and roll go after a few more of these, you know, like whoever it's going to be? And I'll tell you, man, I've got kind of a take on that. I believe that rock and roll still lives in the hearts of the young. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of examples, like a lot of the kids that are now inspired by Youngblood, that are kind of coming up through that. The whole Sabbath thing kind of trickles down. But I'm just seeing a lot of kids that are picking it up in a real organic way. There's an Australian band called Maple's Pet Dinosaur. And they're like 15, and they shot a video with a ring cam, like on a porch, and it kills. Yeah. It's again, it sounds, I mean, you know, they sound like young people. They sound like teenagers playing, but dude, all their influences are like Faith No More.
Yeah.
And like stuff from the 90s, and it sounds edgy like Faith No More from the 90s.
Yeah.
But it's like a 15-year-old girl singing, you know, it's crazy. Yeah. But they've got it. They have it way more organically than like some of these placated bands that try to sound vintage. I mean, it's like you're back in 1992 and the kids next door started a band on the porch. Another story, a friend of mine came down here, guy Keith that I used to know, again, back in the 90s. He came down here the other night. He's got a daughter now, and she started playing guitar. So he came to buy some guitar cables for her. And he brought her down here, and I think she's about 15 too. And I was talking to her. I was like, what bands do you like? And it was like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Like nothing that like started after 2000.
Yeah.
And she's probably born in like 2010.
I mean, it's like my nephew that I brought in.
Hell yeah.
To practice.
Yeah.
Massive Slipknot fan.
Yeah.
Wanted to be, you know, he's still drumming. He hasn't gotten rid of that yet.
Man, I attribute it to a couple things. I think you've got good parents that are showing their kids good music.
Yeah.
That's, for starters, so important. I don't have kids, but if you have kids, and I know you Brandon's daughter, she gets it. She totally understands.
Yeah, I've been taking her to everything I can take her to.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. She, in fact, today to school she wore her Kiss shirt.
Hell yeah.
So
dude, and that's where like, man, I was talking to Eric, the sound guy from the Luniverse. I saw him, bumped into him, and he was talking about. He goes, man, music just sucks so bad these days. And I was like, you know what, man? I was like, we're about to do a podcast where I'm going to talk about this, but I think it's going to be okay. Like, I think the kids are going to pick up this ball and they're really going to run. I mean,
there's that wave, you know.
Everything comes back around.
It comes and it goes. It always comes back around.
That's true.
And I think the major change that you were kind of referring to with like all everybody's heroes from like late 60s through the 90s. Yeah, they may be passing, and that may be kind of like shifting out. But it's what's to worry about is how everybody takes in that media now.
Yeah,
it's a completely different. Like nobody's going to the record store,
right,
or CD store.
They're consuming
whatever.
it way differently. Yeah.
The way it's consumed is so different, and it's changing so fast paced.
Yeah.
That I think things might level out at some point, and people are gonna want that, you know, ethereal. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like something tangible that they can put their hands on. Like there's an urge for that,
man. And
so things are going to start coming back.
You're seeing bubblings of that already. Like
100%.
Like it's funny, man. Like people in general, or at least discerning people, you know, fans of like cool music and cool art. They don't buy the bullshit. I mean, man, they don't. There's a huge backlash against AI. Nobody wants any fucking AI art. They're just like, no, we'd rather have a badly drawn album cover on a napkin than to have something fake.
Enough people will get tired of that shit and start like creating something cool.
Yeah, I was always, of course, my age probably has something to do with it, but I was always a tangible guy. I was such a music nerd. I wanted my hands on the CD so I could read the liner notes. I wanted to know where it was recorded, who engineered it, you know, those kinds of things. And you don't really have that right now.
I think it's worth buying a CD or the vinyl. You know, if you like a band and you want to support them, first off, you know they're not making any money off streaming. Yeah. So everybody should know that by now. But like, I do understand streaming is extremely convenient. Right. Like you've got it right there on your phone. You can Bluetooth it.
And I do it all the time.
I do it all the time too. But if you really dig a band, you want to support them, just buy the CD. Yeah. You don't have to only listen to it on the CD, but the CD has the artwork. Yeah. It's got the whole package.
I try to do that, like if I go see somebody live and they've got some CDs.
And you know, you're not always guaranteed that your favorite record is always going to be streaming that might be pulled for who knows what reason.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So if you got a hard copy, you can listen to it anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's, and again, like you said, liner notes, credits, album artwork. Like, dude, some of the vinyl that comes out now is
insane.
Sick.
The artwork, yeah.
So sick. There's a band that I've made some cables for in Canada called Sumo Psycho. And they're killer, by the way. They're awesome. It's like a 4-piece band. Singer is this girl, and her name's Sky Sweet, and she kills. The bass player Oscar is really cool. I sent him a bunch of stuff. He had just Sumo Psycho. Everybody go listen to Sumo Psycho. They just dropped an album called Neon Void, and they did a big come to the record pressing plant with us and see how our vinyl is made. And they like walk you around with their phone, and they were showing like all the way that they make the vinyl album. And of course, they wanted it to be like real colorful, so it's like purple and silver, and it shows them pressing it and how they get the music and the grooves, and like it's just a whole big thing. But like it's really an art unto itself.
It is.
So yeah, man, I would encourage if you really love a band, even if you just discover them on Spotify and you're like, damn, this band rules, you get into them, go to their website, dude, buy their vinyl, even if you just keep it for like nostalgic sake, you know what I mean? Like let it be like a conversation piece or something about the album. Like that physical media is important, and nobody proved that better than Kiss.
100%.
Because they had, what else? Pinball machines, fucking
caskets,
you name it,
condoms.
Yeah.
Have you heard that famous where Gene Simmons goes, "We'll get you coming and going"?
Yeah.
We've got condoms and caskets. What a sleaze!
For as much of a prick as that guy can be, he's got some one-liners that go down in history.
And man, I remember in the '90s when like grunge was real big, and there was a lot of these like tortured artists, and like they were like very, they acted like they hated their fame and stuff, and he would like. I remember Gene Simmons going, "I'll tell you something. Anybody that has a problem with their fame, you can send all your money to Gene Simmons, P.O. Box." And he gets,
yeah.
Like, I have no problem at all with my fame.
How many times have you seen him?
The first time I saw Kiss was like the Crazy Nights tour.
Oh, shit.
And it was, of course, Peter was gone, Ace was gone, the makeup was gone. And that Crazy Nights album, I didn't see Animalize, I didn't see that stuff. But
I like that. I like their 80s records as well.
I did too. And Bruce Kulick was phenomenal.
It's the videos that were hard to watch.
Videos are hard to watch.
They really are.
Like, what's the one where they're walking?
The Lick It
Up video.
That was the first Unmasked, right? I think that was like. It was like Kiss. It was like a big to do. It was like Kiss Unmasked on MTV.
Yeah, 1981.
They debuted the video, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this,
bro?" It was
come out looking like West Side Story.
Yeah, let's
snapping fingers.
Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like Kiss did not always like land.
They did not.
The way they looked in that Lick It Up video, the way Gene Simmons looked in that Lick It Up video, is one of the funniest things.
It's like really bad drag.
So bad. So bad. And then Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah.
Come on.
Which I forgot to bring my copy. I'm so mad about that.
My boss has gotten me that on DVD like 4 or 5 times because I keep losing it. And it's just funny to hand somebody that movie.
Well, like now you can just order it on fucking Amazon or something.
Yeah.
But I found it at like one of those big flea markets, like 26 years ago.
It's so bad.
And I was like,
It
holy
really
shit,
is.
I probably paid like $50 fucking for it.
I think
like late 90s, it was probably like $200.
But didn't they, the stunt double for Ace is in most of it. Ace isn't in a whole lot of it. And I think the dialogue is overdubbed. It's
well, all of Ace's lines are just that real schlocky voice that he does, like, wow, hey, oh, Paul, wow, yeah, wow.
Yeah, like that 70s cartoon opened up kind of thing.
My God, like, did you guys ever see the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that Ace Frehley did, where he's like a member of the boardroom, but of course he's in full cap. He goes, "I'll give you the P&L statement," and he like turns his sparkler on the guitar.
Yeah. P&L statement.
Paul Stanley also did an embarrassing commercial, that Folgers commercial.
It's like at a circus or some shit on a trapeze. Yeah.
I'm dead. Send help.
Oh, God.
And they pulled it because nobody knew who he was.
No, nobody. It's wonderful, too.
My God.
Was he in full makeup?
No, that's the point.
No,
he was in
in the 80s.
He was in like a buccaneer, like a pirate shirt.
Yeah, like a figure skater would wear.
I don't want to wear a puffy shirt.
It had the fucking laced up whatever bullshit.
I'm dead.
The Seinfeld.
He
pirate
comes
shirt.
walking in.
Yeah.
Best part of waking Folger. And like everybody was like, who the fuck? And there was like acrobats.
Yeah, there's like a trapeze in the background and like
Bro, like, do me a favor. Don't do this while you're driving because I don't want you to die and wreck.
Just look it up.
When you pull over or whatever, Paul Stanley Folgers commercial.
Yeah.
When
And
I
then
pull so I'm just like halfway home. And I'm going to pull over and watch this.
yeah. Yeah, you should.
you might pass out. And then remember that they pulled it off TV because nobody understood what the fuck it was for.
Yeah.
There's a famous Kiss appearance on Oprah Winfrey where they were trying to like quantify how many people they had slept with.
Yeah.
And Gene Simmons makes this fucking statement where like Oprah goes, so you guys have had a lot of groupies, and they're like, yeah. And Paul's like, it's like a smorgasbord. You can have whatever you want, and like, and she goes,
I'm
Gene,
curious if you're going to say what I think you're going to say because he said something on a radio station back home years ago. Continue what you're saying. I'm just curious if it's the same line and he's used it several times.
well, on the famous Oprah episode, she goes, Gene, do you know how many women you've slept with like in the last like 5 years? And he goes, 5 years, no. 10 years, yes. Which, by the way,
That's not the same line. But
it's cumulative. Like, how would you not know?
Right. You think you could do the math, but
He goes, 10 years, yes. She goes, how many? He's like, over 2,000. Or something crazy like that. But he won't give her the 5-year number. He has to give her the 10-year number.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only know 10 years. And tells her she slept with all these women, like it was so funny.
There was this interview with him on a rock station back in Boston years ago, and I remember this to this day. And like as misogynistic and kind of shitty as it is, I love this line that he says because you can apply it to so many different parts of life and like look at it in a positive way. So he's telling this story about he's backstage at some point, some fans back there for any whatever particular reason, and he goes, Gene, and I'm going to misquote the shit out of this.
Doesn't matter.
But he's like, Gene, I saw you go into your trailer with this woman who was like not attractive. He's like, did you sleep with her or something? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, why? You're Gene Simmons. You can get like supermodels and stuff. He goes, hey, son, you can't eat filet mignon every day. Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac.
Scumbag.
It's so shitty, but if you apply it in a positive way to things in your life,
yeah,
it's good.
I mean, that's good. That's good advice.
But it's so shitty.
It is shitty. Do you remember the? I used to get them at like the rental place where you'd rent movies. They made these like I don't know VHS tapes that it was just them doing a bunch of bullshit in the 80s, and they had like 2 or 3 of them.
Kiss?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're talking about Kiss Exposed.
That's it.
Where they were in that mansion.
Yes.
And Paul Stanley's
He's in a hot tub with all these women.
All
with
these
their
women.
tits out.
There's one where it's the Paul Stanley workout where they do like he's doing like jazzercise.
Yes.
But he really just rolling around with all these like hot girls
Yeah.
in like leotards.
Yeah, he was. I remember one line. He was sitting in a hot tub, and he's like, "The thing about having money is, you don't have to worry about having money." I was like, "Okay, thank you."
How
I never put that together.
I mean, the 80s were fucking wild, man.
How ridiculous. Yeah, it was shot at the Kiss Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was one scene where they like go into this room and Gene Simmons is sitting in the room on a throne and the lights are all red and he's sitting there like that's just how he sits all day.
Right.
And on the wall are like, just like you would have like deer heads, like you'd hunted deer or something, but instead it was girls. And he was doing this interview and he was the god of thunder and he goes, hold on a second, could you two switch places? And like 2 of the girls pop their heads out and move and like poke their heads back in on the wall and he's like, thanks, that's better. Like the blonde and the brunette change places and he's like, go on. And he's just sitting in that room like that's all he does. It's just
You could only get by with that in the 80s. I don't think you could do
Yeah.
that now.
I mean,
I don't think you couldn't even do that in the 90s or the 70s. I think the 80s was the only decade you could fucking pull
Probably.
that off.
it's
You're probably
so
right.
crazy. And yeah, the whole thing, it's called Kiss Exposed.
Kiss
You could
Exposed.
probably watch it on YouTube. But the whole thing is shot like a reporter comes up to the door
Yeah.
and knocks on the door. And of course,
Right.
Paul Stanley answers the door with all these naked women. And he's just like, oh, are you guys? I didn't know you guys were coming today. Come on in.
Yeah,
and
it's
just-
super cheesy and corny, but when I was 14, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I think it was probably like maybe loosely inspired by like the Playboy Mansion and the rock. Like I just assumed that's how rock stars live.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the same.
I mean they fell because they were just a rock and roll band in the 70s, right? And I mean obviously like stage presence and all that, but they then went kind of disco, but then went deep into like hair metal. They were basically part of the hair metal scene.
They were
at that point
because their career tanked in the beginning of the 80s, like after Dynasty, and then they put out the Elder.
The Elder. So the Dynasty was the disco-y
one.
Yep. And so
but it had some bangers on it. It had a couple bangers on it.
It did.
Like 2000 Man.
Alienated a bunch of their fan base at that point. Yeah. And then they did the Elder, which was... there's a few songs on there I like.
Same.
I like the song I.
But like a lot of people just didn't get it.
No.
They weren't ready at all.
No, not at all. And that didn't help.
Yeah. And that's what, you remember the movie Detroit Rock City?
Oh, yeah.
Like the kids that are going to the Kiss concert. It's actually got like Gene Simmons' wife, Shannon Tweed, is in it. And like they even talk about like this, I guess it's supposed to be like pre-Dynasty. And there's lines in there where the kids are like, screw that. We don't listen to any stupid old like disco band. We listen to Kiss. Kiss would never make a disco record.
Was Eddie Furlong in that?
Eddie Furlong was in that, and like some other people. I forget who all they were, but like it was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
It's a great soundtrack too.
Yeah,
a lot of covers.
Yeah. Kiss would never do a disco record. Yeah, dude, they had to kind of follow. Something happened to their career, like...
Yeah, they kind of had to rebuild it.
Yeah, and they had to sort of follow the trends. Like other things had come and taken off. And they had to kind of like follow, like... And all of a sudden they're following all these like hair metal bands instead of the ones who they inspired.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're trying to keep up with them because MTV and Views.
There was still some good stuff that came out.
Paul Stanley's wearing all those leg warmers,
Yeah.
Still dancing hard,
Let's put the X in sex.
I have a story about that. I'm telling all these stories. I have a story about go ahead, you go.
I was thinking of another one. It's You Make Me Rock Hard,
which was right next to it on that same. So
Smashes and Thrashes.
Smashes, Thrashes.
And they're like, this is gonna be fucking brilliant.
And they had remixed a few of their other songs on that album.
Yeah.
So I was in high school, maybe freshman year. I might have been middle school. Anyway, I was in the band. Mm-hmm. Marching band, and we were traveling to a football game where we had to play, because we're with a band,
right?
And I was on the bus. This is true. I'm so embarrassed by this. I was on the bus, and I was trying to be cool or something. I had my Walkman, and I had Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits in my Walkman, and I put on some like dark glasses, and just kind of laid my head back and just started singing out loud. Those lyrics about the black lace panties and you make me rock hard. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. And like my friend elbowed me and he goes, dude, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. I was like, what are you talking? And I didn't understand the headphones. Like the bus was quiet. And like all these like girl and teachers, he goes, dude, we had a teacher named Miss Wolf that was very like conservative. And he goes, when you said, let's put the X in sex, he said, Miss Wolf almost had a fucking aneurysm. And I was like, oh, shit. But I was singing out loud, and everybody was just listening to me sing those Kiss songs.
That's great.
We used to, in grade school, now, for all you listeners out there, I grew up in Canada, very rural, and not conservative, but definitely like when we first moved here, there were devil worshippers around, and it was just the fucking metal kids behind the school,
Yeah.
We used to have like lip sync competitions. And I was always mad that I didn't do this lip sync with my buddy Martin, because he did Heaven's on Fire.
Oh, shit.
I think I did like fucking Bryan Adams that year. It was like 4th grade or something. Anyway, I was always mad that I didn't join him on that one because he killed it. Or like him and whoever he did it with killed it. And they got in so much trouble. And I was always jealous that I wasn't a part of that.
Incredible. Incredible, man. Yeah. Kiss knew how to push all the right buttons.
Yeah.
They knew how to generate just the right amount of controversy. And
Knights in Satan's service.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then like the 90s come and they do this reunion. Mm-hmm. And it was like one of the most successful tours ever, because people were like, holy shit. People like me who were too young to see him the first time around, but then you actually had a chance to see the original members. And that shit imploded.
We were both there apparently.
We both.
Is that what these two shirts are?
Yeah.
The same fucking tour, man.
The
last tour in 2000
with all the
like 5 more.
Yeah.
Oh, those are legendary.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Wow.
Me and my wife went to it, actually.
It's incredible. I saw it here, too. I saw it was it Thompson Bowling?
Yeah.
I saw that tour, and it was great.
Yeah. I think it was it was marketed as like their 1975 show, so to speak. It was great.
Yeah,
That's
mine,
crazy.
Mine was in an amphitheater in Massachusetts.
And then I later saw him, the modified version of them with like Tommy Thayer on guitar and in Nashville, and the show was unbelievable, just bonkers.
It was everything I had hoped it would be. You know, listening to the live record.
And you know, man, every time I did see him, I don't know how many times I've seen Kiss. It's probably 5 or 6, maybe.
Same.
But every time I saw him, as soon as like the lights went down, it was the most exciting thing I'd ever seen. Like when he goes, you wanted the best, you got the best. I mean, like the energy that would go through that place, regardless of what year it was. I've seen I've seen Guns N' Roses, I've seen Van Halen, I've seen a lot of big bands. You know, I saw Michael Jackson, but never seen anything like when you're at a Kiss concert and the lights go out and that guy comes on with that announcer. I mean, it's, you know, the only thing better is Paul Stanley's stage banter.
His stage banter is fantastic.
Yeah, you can actually look on YouTube, just like
it's just a collection of
45 minutes of Paul Stanley stage band.
It makes me angry that on Spotify, like the Kiss Alive record, they've cut all of that banter out.
Have they?
Yeah, it fades in and out.
Oh, that's a travesty.
It really is, because that was my favorite parts of the freaking album.
We do it. We're going to do a bunch of
like
here.
the cold gin.
Oh my God, we do it here at practice. Like we'll do like sometimes Brandon will just go, I know
it's hot.
I know.
We got rock and roll to move ya,
dude. It's so good. And there's some of them like that were in Canada or whatever, like 78, and sometimes he'll just go, oh, woo woo. Or like, I know someone like don't want to get themselves kissed.
We was backstage before.
So crazy. Yeah, I was talking to some girls backstage.
I feel like there's a really good one that I'm thinking of is right before God Gave Rock and Roll to You. There's some banter that leads into that song.
Oh, he does it in the middle of God Gave Rock and Roll. They recorded it. Yeah.
Because it's in the middle of the song, so they can't snip it up.
People.
Yeah.
He goes, people. Oh,
yeah.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Google Paul Stanley stage banter. There has never been greater.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
I think the closest is Phil Anselmo's fucking drunken ramblings is probably the only best one. Yeah. I mean, it just insanity. But yeah, so we lost a founding member of Kiss, and Ace Frehley, who his contribution to just like rock and roll and electric guitar, metal, to a lot of things, man, can't be overstated.
It cannot. Super influential.
Man, if I had to recommend, like, let's say somebody's listening to this, let's all give a recommendation. Like, somebody's listening to this and you've never heard Kiss or Ace, or you've never really paid attention to Ace playing guitar. Like, where would you point somebody?
I mean, mine's easy, being the bigger metalhead in the room. God of Thunder. It's their heaviest fucking song.
One of the heaviest songs. Disturbingly heavy. It had the backwards voices.
So heavy.
It was
That's
weird.
why so many like big time like heavy bands will cover that fucking song.
Yeah,
dude.
Are you talking song or album?
Doesn't matter. Anything. Like if you had to go, man, check this out. I know that's a loaded question.
It is.
You know. I'll tell you, I'll give a little bit of like outside the Kiss catalog to his like solo catalog. First off, his 1978 solo record, the one with his painted face and the blue outline of his hair, like that one is a masterpiece. Pretty much start to finish, man. It's got so many weird songs. Oh, and I was about to say, his backup band on his 78 solo album were a bunch of the David Letterman guys. Anton Fig on drums, Will Lee on bass, like a bunch of those dudes that were later on the Letterman show were actually playing as Ace's backup band.
Gotcha.
And man, honestly, I heard that the way he tracked all the guitars is he would do a Les Paul and then go back and double it with a Telly. And to this day, that's how I record guitars for us at home and everything. Awesome. Les Paul and a Telly, just put them together.
For me,
crazy.
Probably the first Alive record.
I mean, untouchable. It's so good.
I've probably listened to that record just about as much as anything I can think of.
Yeah, and man, and some of the Frehley's Comet stuff is good too, like Rock Soldiers, Into the Night. You know, like there was just a lot of good stuff. So I mean, I don't know, man. The good thing about it, and of course you can go through the Kiss catalog too. The solo at the end of Black Diamond, particularly,
So good.
oh my God,
So good.
like, dude, to me, it's more groundbreaking than like the solo to, I don't know, Stairway to Heaven or November Rain or what. Like, it's a big one.
He just had those signature licks that, very few musicians have that where, like Queen had it.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, he really licked it up.
He did like. And on that note,
He really did.
One more mention.
let's go.
So, as a young teenager, obsessed with Beavis and Butthead, another small introduction to Kiss was, how they used to watch videos between the skits and in between the bits. I Love It Loud.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say War Machine.
No, well, I think I'm sure they did a few Kiss, but Love It Loud always stuck with me for some reason.
That was on Smashes and Thrashes as well.
That video also is not good.
Yeah.
But Beavis and Butthead watching it and like loving it, but also trashing it.
It's so good. Yes. So,
amazing.
That's another good one too. When
it's a heavy
when
one.
When Love It Loud comes on, it's hard not to like ball your fist up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of winners, man. Like they had a very colorful career that's easy to like. It has it has warts. The career is not perfectly spotless, and it's got they have lineup changes and
But I would say don't glaze over those just because they have silly song titles. A lot of them. Yeah. There's some good stuff in there.
There is, man, and
wasn't all great, but some good stuff.
And man, just the experience of I'll say maybe kind of end. We're getting pretty long here, but we'll kind of end on the experience of just being a Kiss fan with all that merchandise and all, like I'm just sitting here talking, looking at those cards, like right behind you, and it just looks so fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like there was just something about it was cool, and almost like it was almost cooler because some people didn't like it.
Right.
Some people didn't get it.
It was like your own little club.
Kind of,
like they're my band, Yeah.
Like for people that couldn't see the forest for the trees, people that stopped at the image or the makeup or the goofy interviews, or they saw Kiss for Phantom of the Park and just like never listened to him again. All the people who made it past that stuff into the riffs, into songs like Parasite or Watching You, Love Her All Like fucking Anthrax. Anthrax covered every Kiss song I wanted to cover.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in the band Still Life Opera, and we were like, we should do, like, we found out we actually all liked Kiss.
Yeah.
And it was very weird to do a Kiss song like in the early 90s. And like, let's do some Kiss songs and like make them kind of heavy. And like, we'll start with like, I don't know. But everyone that we ever wanted to do Anthrax came out with it right then.
Well, for them, it was even bigger because that was, that's New York boys for them.
Yeah.
That meant even more to them.
Right.
There was a point where we were like, is there a Kiss song we can cover that Anthrax didn't just put out on a soundtrack or something? Jesus. They even did Love Her All I Can, which is kind of goofy.
Yep.
But,
Anthrax is pretty fucking goofy.
That's fair.
Too.
They did I'm the Man. Yeah. You're right. So, you guys got anything else?
No, I'm mad that I didn't bring my copy of Phantom, and I wore the wrong patch vest because I have an actual Kiss Army patch. I don't even know where it came from. I had it when I was like 10.
Well, I will say
my uncle probably gave it.
I will say you wore the right shirt.
I did.
You wore the exact right shirt.
Yeah, you guys definitely got the shirt.
I pulled it out of the tub in the closet.
Same.
It smells like musty closet.
I love those. I didn't realize those were both from the same tour.
Yeah.
I've got that same shirt.
I wish you wore. That would have been amazing.
I bought like three of three different shirts from this show.
Yeah.
I bought that one, this one, and one other, and I almost wore that one.
That would have been
awesome.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, long live Ace Frehley. Long live his memory. Rest in power. I mean, just we bask in the legendary
Huge
presence.
thank you.
Ace gave rock and roll to us.
He did.
It's a fact. It's a fact. So, man, if you're not, put on some Ace Frehley and spin it. Put on some old Kiss. Like, don't let it die. And show it to your kids. Like, show it to your kids' friends. Like, let's make sure that the next generation carries this forward. This music is too good to die with the passing of time. You know what I mean? It's worth like preserving this, like in the temple.
Yep, because it's really good. If you can get past all the showy stuff.
All that showy stuff was just filler for people that got it in the first place.
Exactly.
It's a fact. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Let's hope the next time we do one of these, it's about
somebody that's alive.
Somebody's still alive.
Let's hope somebody didn't die. Jesus, the next time.
Let's do one for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Soundgarden's getting in finally.
Are they really?
Yeah,
All right. Well,
Bad Company.
Bad Company. Yeah. Cyndi Lauper.
All right. Well, let's do it then. Okay. Let's let that come and go, and then we'll schedule another one of these.
Yeah. Fuck
all right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no one dies between them.
Hopefully, God, no one. Well, you guys heard
we'll
it.
already talk about Cornell, so like, hopefully nobody else.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Well, you guys heard it here first. We'll be back to talk about that. And again, thanks for listening. And go play some Kiss.
Fuck yeah.